Hey, what's up guys, Jed here and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about why intermittent fasting works. So if you guys are excited about that, go ahead and do me a favor by giving this video a like, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so here's how I'm going to go about this. We're going to have person A and we're going to have person B. Person A is going to be doing intermittent fasting. He's going to be following the schedule of 16-8 just to keep things simple and pretty basic. So that means he's going to have an 8-hour eating window and of course a 16-hour fast, and he's going to be eating 1500 calories in order for him to lose about a pound per week, just as our example. Now we have person B who is going to be just counting calories and eating the same amount of calories, 1500, and that's it, nothing else. So when we compare the two individuals, realistically, person A is going to get the better results because he's doing intermittent fasting at the same time alongside calorie counting and of course the deficit. So first of all, I just want to briefly go over why it is that implementing intermittent fasting plus counting calories makes it easier compared to if you didn't. Alright, so two main things. Number one is people don't really know how to count calories, and number two, people don't actually know how to create or to visualize a balanced meal in terms of macronutrients. And actually there's one more, so three. Number three, people don't exactly know how to time their meals correctly. Now I've said in the past that it actually doesn't matter when you eat, but if you are a beginner still and you're still struggling with, losing weight and everything, doing intermittent fasting and all that good stuff, then of course you still need to learn how to time your meals, so that way in the future once you understand how it works, realistically you don't need to worry about the timing of your meals. But for now you do. So let's just say person B is the person that doesn't really know how to do all three of those things, right? And he's just counting calories and eating at a deficit. Normally and logically, if he just counted his calories and ate at a deficit, which in his case is 1500 calories, he will lose weight. But since he doesn't know those three things that are important, the person A, who's doing intermittent fasting plus what he's doing, is going to lose the weight. That is the reason why it's better to do intermittent fasting while counting calories at the same time. So now we can just say as an example that person A actually does understand those three things. So since he understands those three things and does intermittent fasting plus calorie counting, he's going to lose weight just like that. And as a matter of fact, because he's knowledgeable about those three things, he doesn't even need to do intermittent fasting at the end of the day. As a matter of fact, he can do what person B is doing and he'd be fine. But because a majority of people don't really understand those three key points that I just mentioned earlier, they're obviously going to struggle because they don't understand the whole concept. But now that I have explained it, you guys should now understand the difference between person A and person B and why one might make better results than the other. Alright, so why does intermittent fasting work? Well, person B doesn't have an eating window, okay? As a matter of fact, his eating window is actually all day. And so since he doesn't understand a key point of when to have your meals, right, depending on when you had your first meal, he's going to choose to have that meal whenever he wants, right? And that's not a bad thing. But when you do that, especially when you don't know how to balance out your meals, your next meal or your first meal or whatever meal can tend to be either too small or too big. And a majority of the time, that can cause you to overeat, causing you to go above 1500 calories. Now, person A, since he has intermittent fasting at his disposal, even if he doesn't know, he's always gonna know. I hope that makes sense. Because let's say, since he's doing 16-8, let's just say he eats at 10 a.m. as his first meal, and then he stops at 6 p.m. As long as he knows that, realistically, it doesn't matter when he eats his next meal. As long as he stays in between, he's staying in his eating window. So that's how it works. So in short, the reason why intermittent fasting works is because I always like to tell people to imagine intermittent fasting as if it's your own personal coach, right? It's telling you that you gotta eat at this specific time, wait until this time, and while you're waiting in between, you gotta drink your water so that you can survive, per se, until your next meal, and then you eat again, and then you eat your last meal, and now it's telling you, hey, you got your last meal, it's time to stop eating. Person B, who's not doing intermittent fasting, doesn't have anything or anyone, just use your imagination, to tell him when to start eating and when to stop eating. So if he's not really knowledgeable of what calories are, of how to balance out the meals, of when to eat, he's gonna be all over the place, right? I can tell him to eat 1500 calories in order to lose a pound per week, and he's just gonna take it how he wants to take it. He's not being watched over, he's not being advised, he's not really following a specific routine. All he knows is that he just has to eat 1500 calories and that's it. So anyway, when you implement intermittent fasting plus counting calories, it's almost as if you have your own personal coach. That's the way I like to think about it. And the other point I want to make is that a lot of people like to think that intermittent fasting activates something in your body, right? And starts burning fat faster, starts burning supposedly more calories than you actually are, when in reality that is not the case at all. It's just something that controls your eating time, right? So it's like you have discipline in a way compared to someone who wasn't doing intermittent fasting. They don't know when they have to stop. They don't know when they have to start. Intermittent fasting is more organized, tells you when to start and when to stop. That is the main reason why intermittent fasting works. And if you guys can understand that, I promise you, weight loss is the easiest thing on this entire planet. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. If you guys are interested in learning more about weight loss and intermittent fasting, be sure to check out my last video where I talk about intermittent fasting for people on the go. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and tap that notification bell so that you never miss out on any future videos. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and comment down below letting me know. Where do you stand? Are you person A or are you person B? And with that said, I will see you guys next time. Oh.